Hey everyone. Today, my experiment is going to be to speak from my authenticity a bit more. I had a bunch of interesting things happen today. I mean, some observations that happened. One is having some thoughts about deductive tinkering, which is the process of coming up with a plan, executing it, learning from it, and then rapidly deducing from what you learn a new thing to try. Just doing that over and over again. And I was like, if I had to hire somebody and I could pick one thing for them to have, it would be that. Maybe emotional intelligence would be up there too, but just from a more basic standpoint, it's such a critical thing that if I knew I was going to work with someone for 5 years, there are many things that I'd want, but from a skill standpoint, if I had to pick between someone who has like a very specific skill that I'm looking for, like, okay, you're going to be really good with marketing and LinkedIn, and another person doesn't have that skill, but they have the skill of deductive tinkering, where they persist and iterate, being responsive to the result of each experiment and allowing that data to carry forward into the next experiment. Over the course of 5 years, I'd much rather have that person because they're going to explore the space of possible solutions and develop skills that and develop ideas and find things out that you can never figure out just by staying within a narrow domain. And I think the thing that prevents deductive tinkering the most is definitely some kind of emotional block. There's this thing that prevents us from wanting to try things out and fail and get to our edge. And what is that? Like, what keeps you from going to the edge of your abilities, from trying out a new idea on a regular basis when it's clearly a highly effective way to act? It's a very good way to act. But most people, when you really look at it, they don't live their lives with that kind of mindset consciously. Now, mind you, we are always deductively tinkering. We're always running an experiment. It's just the experiment might be, what happens if I stay in this marriage for 40 years and don't do anything? That's an experiment. So what I'm really talking about isn't whether or not you're running experiments because you are. It's whether you're running them consciously and fluidly, dynamically, rapidly. So that was something that that came to mind today, and I really like that. I really like deductive tinkering as a concept. I got it from, there's a book on complexity economics. I'll probably make some videos on this book at some point. But let's see. I think there is definitely a chart in here that really makes it clear what makes deductive tinkering so powerful. On economic evolution, where is it? Might not be able to find it. Well, I'll keep talking while I look. Oh yeah, deductive tinkering and social technology. Yeah. All right. Pretty sure I got it. Well, it's actually turning out to be fairly difficult to explain based on this diagram. But yeah, basically the idea comes from design space. And here is kind of an example of design space. We'll see, where are we? At some point, I'll start editing these kinds of things out. But let's see. You kind of wander through the landscape of design space here through various iterations until you reach higher and higher levels of effectiveness. So I think that's just an extremely critical thing. And basically, it's the one meta skill that if you have it, you're going to find success. And what blocks it, I think, is a couple of things. One is like limiting beliefs around what you can tolerate, how well you can handle failure, because you'll think like, oh my gosh, if I do this experiment and it fails, then like I'm gonna be a failure and I'm never gonna come back from that, and it'll just be, I wasted my time, and why would I waste my time when I can do something that's sure to work? So I'm gonna stick to what I know, and that's a limiting belief, because there's no end, there's no fail. It's the experiment yielded a result, and you like it or you don't. But the result is data, and time doesn't stop when you quote unquote fail. You just take what you learn and put it into the next iteration. And really, you can't fail ultimately if you do that. You can't fail. And then I was thinking like, what would happen if I spawned into a new city with my current like body, what I'm wearing and everything, but no contacts, didn't have any friends, whatever. I was homeless. What if I just spawned into the city? What would I do? How would I handle it? And the way I would handle it is I would start a portfolio of experiments. I would have one experiment going of like teaching like meditation classes and seeing how that goes. And I would probably do that experiment like 5 iterations before I gave up on it. If I really wanted to do it, I would just persist with it and iterate on it until it works, because I know that would work. I would also, I would do the same thing, but with like coaching. I would like go out and I would go into like a physical space, like a park or something, and put up a stand or a sign and be like, with donations, and it'd be like, hey, I'll set a 10-15 minute timer, level conversation, and we'll see if we can get you some insights that could help you move forward in some domain of your life, and then see if that experiment works or yields anything. So that's kind of what I would do in that case. I'd really want to create like a bushy tree of experiments, many of which they're all gonna fail, but some of them are gonna work if I do enough of them. What would I do if I just spawned in though? I would definitely bias towards things that would have a likelihood of payoff in the short term. I'll probably try like flipping things off Facebook Marketplace, or finding free things and selling them. I would also use Claude and have it help me design websites for people that have really bad websites, and I would get those going pretty quickly. I would have to go a few days. I don't know how long I would be homeless for, but yeah, that's basically the strategic orientation I would have. But basically persisting along a line of experimentation is what I would do, because in this case, like, you want to get off the street as quickly as possible, and so just getting a regular job wouldn't really cut it, because you have to save up for like however long to get enough money to put down to like at a deposit on like a place and whatever. So that's why I'm thinking more in terms of how to quickly make the money. And to do that, I would definitely have a bushy portfolio of different experiments and follow the ones that seem profitable. Because the main goal then at that point is to get a stable living situation set up as quickly as possible. Yeah. And so I think the crucial thing is keeping your head on straight on your shoulders, and so dedicating like a couple of hours every day to meditation, to emotional processing, to seeing through my thoughts and everything would be critical too. Because that's one of the most critical things for learning from failure, from learning from, because you're going to get roughed up if you're on the streets like that. So the most efficient way I know to learn from those mistakes is to sit down and have some meditation. A specific type of meditation that, and I'll probably teach it at some point. Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I was like enjoying the video a lot, and then my girlfriend walked in and it kind of threw off my flow. So I could just blame her for that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know that I can definitely take an experiment right now. Okay. How do I get back into flow? Maybe I just like, oh, and apologize. Oh, sorry for you, Charlotte, my girlfriend, and sorry to the viewer for me making that excuse. The truth is, I actually just want to stop the video because I'm getting bored, and I have some limiting beliefs around my ability to re-engage with the video once I lose my flow. And I appear to want to be done with it, so I'm ending it, and I do feel guilty about it, but I'm just going to fill through that and come back later. All right, goodbye.